This week in Gran Turismo Race A, we go rallycrossing in a Stratos. Race B sees me get a little bit of a love tap, and in Daily Race C, well, I get another one as I go through the hairpin. Hello everyone, and welcome back to the Gran Turismo Weekly Race Guide here in 2024, Week 5, and I'm going to say this is a better week than last week. However, Race A bit treacherous, if I do say so myself. We're in Lancia Stratos at Lake Louise short circuit, but what else are we doing here? Well, it's 6 laps around this circuit. It's a great start with a false start check, and we are on snow tyres. DR and SR updates are off, so of course that does help the situation because this car is really hard to control. Now, if you don't want to do this race, and I imagine quite a few of you don't want to do this race, there are some timestamps there for you to skip to race B or race C. However, I did do this race, and let's have a look exactly what happens in this race as to whether you probably should do it or not. Right then, here we go then. Only 10 cars in this race. We couldn't even get a full grid for this one, and this was the 8 a.m. race. So hold the handbrake at the start. I did put traction control on 1 for the start. Not that there's any traction there in the first place because we're on snow and ice, but even so, we're going to release handbrake and off we go. Mark completely jumped the start there. Oh, sits in the middle. The French driver there struggling at the start as well, so we're gaining another place here. Now I was debating where to go here for turn 1 because I know everyone's going to slam into that outside of the circuit. So I decided to try and take an inside line. And let's see if that works. And you can see everybody sliding through the corner actually fairly safely as well, to be honest with you. Quite clean in the grand scheme of it, which actually meant I lost out here because the French driver went round everybody there. The one I overtook already is in P7. I mean, it's quite incredible racing that is as we go in towards this left-hander. As we go into here then, everyone going very aggressive into here. You want to keep the car straight as possible. Few people into the barrier, and I'm going to go straight down the middle. 3 for 1. 3 positions nailed there for 1 overtake. I love those kind of moves. Right, we head in towards the last corner then here at Lake Louise. We're trying around the outside here, around the outside of the bollards as well. The Greek driver going full sideways there. We've got the French driver just on our inside there. Slight tap, which pushes into the Greek driver then as we continue on through. So the French driver's back through again. Seems like the French driver is doing rather well here. Don't the French have that weird rallycross racing that they have in the snow? I'm pretty sure I've seen it on Top Gear. Anyway, we're going to head on to lap number 2 here in the Stratos. It's a very sketchy car, this, if I do say so myself. We're going to chuck it in towards turn 1, then down to 3rd gear, trying to get the car balanced here. I'm not using a lot of the banking at the moment. The French driver using all the banking, coming firing off there, to be honest with you. The Greek driver looking down right inside then as we come off the corner there. And you know who, turning the lights off in the background as well. It's like it was all dramatic suddenly as we go into the left-hander then. All starting to settle down now. Slight tap on the rear. Oh, Greek driver hard into that snow bank then as we get towards the last corner with the French driver full on sideways then. I'm trying to keep it as straight as I can as I go through here, avoiding that bump as best as I can. The French driver hits it, goes into the banking. We're going to try and accelerate through then. Up into P5 we go here then, and let's see what we can do then in terms of P4, P3, P2, or even the win maybe, I don't know. So Marasonic up ahead then, we catch up to them through turn 1. Front really lifted up then, going into this left-hander then. We don't go aggressive, we're trying to avoid going into that banking. The French driver really slams hard into it. So we have gained a bit of a gap there behind now, so we can concentrate on Mario Sonic. We're through here though. Very easy to get that oversteer moment, so I went straight there. And look at the move this is. So we're going to head towards the last corner. Very hard to get this right when you're on the inside, because look at that off camber on the corner. It really does not like it at all as we go into here then, bringing the car back nicely then. Mario Sonic looking down that inside, but we do get that P4 position, and that's fast forward a little bit here then as we need to try and catch up to P3 then, heading in towards turn 1. We absolutely send it into turn 1. A bit too much of a send, to be honest with you. We hit the barrier, we get a penalty. Now it's a bit weird, the penalty system, because it sometimes gives you one, sometimes doesn't. There I did get one, but I didn't lose a position, unfortunately. Up ahead, somebody's gone too much sideways there. Look at that. They've lost all their speed there as the other French driver in this race. As we look, we're a bit out of control there as well, aren't we? But we are looking to get past the French driver, then round the outside as we go into here, trying to settle the car then as we go into the left-hander. We do that indeed, and now we straighten up and go, go, go. Head towards the line then, finishing in P3 in the end. I'll take that, a podium here in the Stratos. Very hard car to drive, very hard combo this one, to be honest with you. So it is a good job DR and SR updates are off for this one. But let's actually jump to the guide then. Let me tell you how to do this one then, as I did get quicker and quicker and quicker at this. So on the left-hand side there, you've got the ski lifts there. So the one before the yellow the one before the yellow barrel up ahead, that's the one I use here. So you can see that there, and you can see the yellow barrel up ahead as well. So literally as that leaves the edge of my screen is when I'm going to hit the brakes, okay, as we go into this one. As we continue on through then, I'm in third gear, trying to use the bank in there to my advantage as I go through this corner, okay? And as we come out of here then, we're going to go towards the right-hand side then, and we need to keep the car as straight as possible. That's the critical thing with this car. Keep it straight. Don't get oversteer moments. And that's what I'm trying to do there, straight as possible, accelerate through the corner, and there we avoid hitting the banking and carry a lot of speed, actually. So keep it on the inside line here. Again, straighten up. This is the move I did on Mario Sonic. Straighten up, and you just accelerate through this as we head towards the last corner then. Very quick one, this one. So hard on the brakes around where the marshals are. It's also as the banking opens up. Now, obviously, the inside of the corner is off camber. The outside of the corner has lovely camber, and that's where you want to be, okay? Now, you may graze the snow banking on this one. You may graze it, okay? So just be careful as you do this. So I'm going to go into here then, slowing the car down here, and we don't hit the barrier, fortunately, but we are hitting the bollards there. They are slowing us down as well. Again, trying to straighten up here just to get going. We don't want all the oversteer. We don't want all the dramatics there. As we continue on out of the corner, let's fast forward then towards the line, and that's a 101.7, I think. Yes, there it is. That's it for race A then. Let's jump to race B, where we're at Watkins, Glen. And you can see I've chose the Genesis. I'm going to do the updated test, bot test on this week, of course, with another car profile. So do keep an eye out for that. But what are we doing here at Watkins? Well, it's 4 laps. It's a rolling start on racing medium tyres. Very simple. Brake balance is adjustable, nothing else. And I can tell you, this Genesis feels very different. And I feel like the change has actually made it a bit better to drive. Let's jump into this race then, because it's a big old sprint here with lots of racing action. Right then, here we go, race B, and we've got an M6 GT3 Sprint model. I did notice the PP on the Sprint and the Endurance model are slightly different when I looked at the BOP updates. We'll have a look at that at some point. If you're not subscribed already, please do subscribe. And if you are enjoying this video, do give it a little thumbs up as well. It all helps me out knowing what you do like and don't like as we head in towards turn 1 then in the Genesis. Now you see a F-Type up ahead. That got a big BOP update, did that car. That car, a big upgrade, so it could be very, very good now. And in fact, as I look to catch up to them in Slipstream, this car seems really fast in a straight line. I'm struggling to catch up here. Look at this, the F-Type is going for it. And you see me smiling there because there's a big change for that car, really big change, as we see the hands on from Mario Sonic. We're going to slow it down, though, as we go into here. Just being cautious. Oh, hello. Somebody's not being cautious there. Into the barrier there on the right-hand side for somebody. Well, they're gone out of this race already. And do expect a lot of action in this one. Full lap sprint. It really is a short race. It does need to be longer, race B. I feel like we're not racing for long, and we're waiting longer than we actually race for. Anyway, into the left we go then. Somebody else off up ahead then. Who is that one? Oh, they've lost it as well as they go there. Mario Sonic on the left here. We've got 2 Jaguar F-Types to deal with then as we head in towards the right-hander. We've got the, what was that, Russian driver on our outside, goes for our inside. Gonna tap my rear though, send me round. Do I catch it? I do, just apologies to Tejo Bots. I couldn't have done anything there as I was tapped. And you see me shaking my head there. It wasn't the greatest of moves. Anyway, lap number 2 up ahead. There's a bit of contact between the two of them there. They go off the circuit there. I've got to give them room as they come back on, but that does mean we get past them again. So now we're back to status quo, just a second and a half behind Mario Sonic, or a second or so as we go into here then. And oh, more action ahead. The German's gone round. Oh, Shelty in a Viper there. Just comes back on circuit. Gonna have dirt on his tyres, so we'll be struggling with understeer here. A Jaguar F-Type on the outside and inside of Shelty. And we're going to try and follow suit then with Mario Sonic as we go into the left-hander then in this Genesis X. Looking on the outside of Mario Sonic. Not going to work this time. Chelsea's still there, though. And what we're actually going to do is start to look in our mirror here, because Chelsea's defending from that Russian driver. They tapped me last time, and they just send it down the inside. Another just silly move by that driver. Well, I'll look at it in the bloopers, but Piker, you're not driving sensibly at all here. You really aren't. Need to improve there, in my opinion. One mistake is fine. Doing it twice, it's just not on. Now, up ahead, Mario Sonic has gone for the move on. Go smooth then as we go through that right hand. Look at the oversteer happening on that F-Type. They both go on the inside, so I'm thinking, okay, let's go for the opportunity here. Round the outside in the Genesis. Can we do this? We look to accelerate as quick as we can. Just being careful of that rear end, and we do it. Look at that. Oh, yeah, I like that move. That was a good move, in my opinion. Let me know if you did like that one in the comments, of course. As we head in towards the last turn then of this right-hander, what I'm actually going to do is start to bump draft Mario Sonic. I kind of figured the F-Type is so strong in a straight line. Give the F-Type a bit of bump draft in here. Mario Sonic did indicate to go, but I just wanted to bump draft Mario Sonic a little bit. We go into the final lap then, and we have caught up to the next group of drivers. We've got the Italian here, who's that Hasma car, and we've also got Blue Racer up ahead as well. I'm also looking down the inside, not going to quite work there, but that F-Type again is so strong in a straight line now. What can Sonic do? But I'm going to just back out of this. Be sensible here. Too wide does not work in the chicane at all, really. And if there is any action, if I'm further back, I can take advantage. That's what I'm going to try and do here. So Hasma car just gets it slightly wrong through the chicane. I'm going to try around the outside here now on this long right-hander. Really, really, really hard to get right. The Italian gives me room as well on the exit here as we head in towards the left-hander then. Are we going to get this done and dusted? Yes, we are. What a move again. 2 moves in 1 race. Oh, yeah. Can't touch this. Well, apparently you can touch this because Sonic defended very nicely there indeed. We do finish in P6 though, but that was a brilliant race. I do feel like there's some good racing here, but it's just too short. 7 minutes, 13 seconds. Needs to be longer, PD. Really does need to be longer. Right, how do you do this then? So we're going to head towards turn 1. You've got the car specification on the right-hand side there if you need it in terms of what I did for the time trial and race. And heading towards turn 1, you've got the arm code there, which goes from 4 to 3. That is exactly what I use as my brake marker. It's just before the 200, which I've highlighted there as well. Now, what you want to do for this corner is actually stay on the outside for longer than you realize. Don't head early into the apex. Stay on the outside there and then come in across. It allows you to get a better exit and then accelerate through the corner. Now, what I've done here is just stopped it here just to give you an idea of track limits. You can stay and use all the curb there, but you can't go over the curb, otherwise you will get a track limit penalty. Okay. Heading in towards the chicane then, the bus stop chicane here. I'm actually using a 300 board on the left-hand side. You could use the marshal box if you want to be the last of the late breakers, but you're probably going to compromise your exit, to be honest with you. So I would suggest using the 300 board as that leaves the edge of your screen, or here on the chase cam, of course, as we go into here. Use all the curb on the inside. Be careful about cutting this corner because it will give you penalties. You mainly cut on the right-hand side, not the left there. As we go through here, I'm just slowing the car down a little bit. I just dabbed the brakes and I've dropped a gear. Now, what I'm actually looking for is that piece of tarmac there, the emergency road there, or alternatively, the marshal box that I've highlighted there as well. Either of them are your accelerating markers, okay? You need to begin accelerating around this point. You need to make sure the car is turning, not understeering, and then accelerate through the corner. Definitely be 100% throttle before the marshal box, okay? Because you really want to accelerate out of that corner. Into this left-hander we go then, and we're looking for the 200 board. Okay, that is one that is very easy to spot here. We're braking just before it. You can see I've just started braking now. And if we go to chase cam, you can see that here as well. So a very obvious brake marker. And I like to keep a tight line for this one, and that's what I'm going to try and do here. And what you're actually looking for here is as the catch fence on the left-hand side meets the Armco, you can use that as an accelerating marker. Alternatively, on the outside in the center of your screen, as it hits the center of your screen, starts accelerating. So you can see I've started accelerating a bit too late here. Needs to be been a bit earlier there, but I start to accelerate through the corner, and there we go. Jobs are good on them. I'm going to head towards this right-hander. You can be so aggressive on this corner. You really can be so aggressive. We're looking for the 100 board on the right-hand side. As that hits the edge of your screen, just absolutely send it into this corner. Point the car towards the curb and just send it, okay? You're then going to start to bounce the car during the corner. You can see where the brake marker is here. So obviously, it's before it hits the edge of your screen on chase cam. Coming into here then, I like a tighter line, to be honest with you. And what I'm looking for is that marshal box. Really good accelerating marker, that marshal box, okay? As it starts to hit the center of your screen, that's when you start to accelerate, okay, as we go through this corner. You can just see it on chase cam again. Same thing here. Just as it hits the center of your screen, start to accelerate. Just be careful on exit. It can get very slippy in a lot of cars. It does in its Genesis, so it does in a lot of cars, to be honest with you. And you will see a lot of squirrely moments in the race footage. Heading towards this next right-hander then, we're looking for the 200 board on the left-hand side. It's just after the 200 board, in fact, okay? So literally, once that disappears off the edge of your screen, then start to brake. It's very easy to go a bit deep on this corner, and I highly advise you don't go deep into this corner because it means you'll overturn on the exit and spin out. Just brake a bit earlier. If you've broken a bit too early, just come off the brakes a little bit and you'll be fine. Be careful on exit, of course, due to oversteer. You can use a lot of it. Again, red and yellow curbing is the limit there, not the white line. As we go up here then, you've got the dead tree on the right, or trying to get as close to the 100 board as possible. Both of these are really good markers, to be honest with you. The dead tree as it hits the edge of your screen. Again, you want to point towards the corner as you go into this braking zone. Don't brake in a straight line. Try and turn towards the corner, then brake in the straight line. You notice I'm trying to do that here. Keeping a tight line. Be careful on exit again due to oversteer. Very easy to get here as I continue on through them. This next marker I'm going to talk about is actually just a lift-off marker, okay? You've got the 100 on the right if you want to use that, but I'm using the 100 on the left as it hits the edge of my screen, I just start to lift. You can see I've just started to lift now as it hits the edge of my screen, and then I want to turn in. Okay, you can just see where it is there. So maybe it's the fastest lap one. You could use that as a reference on chase cam. Spin into here, clip the curb, and I don't want to brake for that corner. I want to get over towards the left-hand side as quick as possible. And the end of that tyre barrier there, that is my brake marker for this final corner now. Okay, you could use billboard just after it if you want. There are also markers on the right-hand side, but that is my marker for this one. Okay, so I'm going to go on the brakes at this moment in time. And basically, I want to clip the curb as late as possible on the inside, but I need to make sure I do clip it, because when I clip it, I can then accelerate through the corner and head towards the line. That's a lap here at Watkins, Glen. That's a 44 dead. Very competitive time trial laps here today, so I don't have a ghost there, unfortunately. As we jump to daily race, see where I do have a ghost, because we're in that Mercedes CLK-LM. It does mean some Group 2 racing here at Deep Forest Raceway. What exactly are we doing here at Deep Forest Raceway? Well, it's 14 laps, a rolling start, racing soft tyres, but you do need to pit at least once, ×2 fuel and ×7 tyre wear, and the brake balance is adjustable, of course. Now, in terms of this combo, this is a fantastic combo. Really good some strategy that can happen there. I'll say that again. Good strategy can happen here. And, of course, you can have some good races as well. Let's jump into it then. Let's have a look exactly what happened. Right then, here we go with the final race of the video. We're in the Mercedes. Most people are. We've got some people in Super GT cars, but we'll see why they're no good during this race. Now, if you are enjoying this video, again, do give it a like. Do subscribe to the channel if you're not already, to support the channel, of course, and keep up with the content that comes out here on the channel as well, as we head in towards turn number 1 then. Status quo for now. Rolling starts nice and easy here at Deep Forest Raceway. It's after turn 1, which is when it starts to get interesting. You get into this line of cars, but obviously everyone's going to be making mistakes called tyres in lap 1, so anything can happen here as we go into here. So I'm being very cautious. I highly advise you be cautious as well. See somebody get a wiggle up ahead. Sonic looks down the inside there. Not sure whether there's tap or not between those two, but Sonic does get the place then. The Italian on my inside there. Slight tap between us two. Nothing major though, as we head down here into the left-hander we go. Oh, 0.5 second penalty there for the Italian. So I can just breathe now, be nice and easy through this corner, and just make sure I'm close enough to just overtake them in that penalty zone. And that's exactly what I'm going to do. Let's fast forward then as we head here then, and head hard onto the brakes then as we slow it down here. Concertina effect happening as we get a slight tap from the rear there. Big damage on the rear of this car then. A bit unfortunate there. We'll have a look at that in the bloopers, of course. We still catch up to the Super GT car with damage, and they actually let me go there. I do appreciate that. X12R13 then as we go into turn 1. Someone's ghosted up ahead. Who is that? I think that was Mario Sonic ghosted up ahead. We are up into P11 though, and even with that damage, we still have the straight line speed of that Super GT car. Pretty mental. Oh, Taijo Boss has gone there in another Super GT car, the Lexus RCF GT500 car. So we gain another spot free of charge. Thank you so much, mate. I appreciate that. Right, here we go then. We're right behind Bembo here. Lap number 2. We've got a penalty up ahead. I think that was for Mario Sonic then. Goes towards left-hand side. Good sportsmanship here as we look down the inside of Bembo then. We're going to go on the brakes then as we brake a bit earlier here because I wanted the slipstream in the second straight. See if we could do that. So we're going to accelerate out of here, but we bogged down a little bit there. Just lost out on accelerating then as we head towards turn 1. They did end up side by side here, the Spaniard and Bembo, as we continue on through here. Then Bembo's just going to go off the circuit, and we're going to take that place up into P8 we go then. I am going to talk about strategy shortly, folks. Don't you worry if you are sitting there going, Tidge, what do I do? Well, we get some hard racing in first, then the Spaniard goes defensive then as we head towards the hairpin here. Braking here, then going for the outside line, trying to get the run out of the corner. That's my goal here. And that's the run we get there. We just get the run there. A little bit of wheel spin actually helps us get into that power band as we continue on through here. Then at this point, you're probably going, Tidge, why don't you pit or do anything? Well, I like the racing as well here as we're going to go in towards turn 1 side by side. We do get it stopped and job done. So what we're actually looking for in strategy, okay, you are going to have to pit. I do highly advise you change tyres at some point. But it doesn't mean you have to pit bang on lap 7. I reckon a pit lap 5, lap 4 and change tyres still works very nicely here. Again, a Super GT car of Ganzo then just going to struggle in a straight line as we catch up to them so fast in that straight line then. Through the corner though, they are going to be better, and on exit they just accelerate away there. But can we catch up? That is the question. Well, we're going to head down here, and what we're actually going to do is go in the pits then. I'm going to go in the pits here, and what I'm going to do is change tyres. I highly advise you do this, folks. I really, really, really do, because if you don't, you are going to suffer at the end of the race. Now, Mario Sonic didn't change tyres, which is why Mario Sonic jumped me there by a few seconds. And you can see the difference. But what you are going to see is we're going to catch up to Mario Sonic very quickly as we do pass Ganso then. And you can see there the undercut actually worked quite nicely. Shelty and Sonic up ahead of both part TCR. Shout out to both of you then as we continue on through here then. As advance a bit later on then in the tunnel, lap number 8 then. I'm going to look down the inside of Mario Sonic, and this is a really soft send by me actually. Really soft send. I just broke way too early for the send as well. So down Mario Sonic there. I do apologise for that, Mario Sonic, as we continue on now. Mario Sonic's actually going to give me some bump draft in here. Obviously realised that the no change tyre strategy wasn't going to work, so it was just bump drafting me to go. You see Mario Sonic has dropped off here. Get a run on Shelty then with that livery. Look at that livery. It's a lovely livery there on the outside here. I really need to get some liveries on these cars on my YouTube, on my TCR account as we continue on through then. As we go up another place there, that's somebody in the pit. So we're now fighting for P4 with Sonic then as we head in towards turn 1. Sonic defends this very nicely indeed. Looking for the cutback. There was a space there, but I decided not to go for that because I felt I was going to touch Sonic as we continue on out of this corner. We advance further on in lap 11 then. And we've got a run here on Sonic, but not quite. Oh, hello. We've got somebody with a penalty then. Who is that? It's Fatban 1 as we go into the corner. Sonic's gone deep then. Fatban 1 on the inside. So we continue on through here. It just all gets a bit tight there. I feel like that was my fault, to be honest with you. So what I'm going to do here is just give Fatban a bit of a bump draft initially. And that's the sort of say sorry, and then we can get racing again from this moment. That was the idea with that one, and that's what we're going to do here. She has to give me a bit of a bump draft there. We're looking to use the TCR train here, essentially. The TCR slipstream train heading towards turn 1. Can we get the move done on Fatbat 1? Looking around the outside there. Very hard to go around the outside on this corner. Fatbat 1 gets his stop perfectly. Absolutely perfectly. As we continue on up here. Side by side then. Very hard to do this side by side as we go into this right-hander. I slow it down. Round the outside. Beautiful move there. Really, really is a solid move that by Fatbat 1. Really well played with that one as we continue on through them. And advance to the end of lap 12 then. Looking on the inside of Sonic then as we go into the hairpin. They just outbrake themselves a little bit. Gone a bit deep then as we go through here. They're going to give them some room on the exit, which is what I do there. And we are now up into P4. However, that slipstream really does get strong here. And what I'm going to have to do here is go defensive then. I go towards that inside line. I do not want anyone going down my inside here as we head towards turn 1. Nearly 3 wide then as we go into here. I think there's a bit of net code there between Shelty and Fatman 1 as well. So continue on through here. We are up into P4 then. Can we get into P3 or maybe even P2 as Muscapi's just up ahead as well as we go into here. So Sonic just a bit deep there through the corner. We're going to really put the pedal to the metal flat out, as Murray Walker would say. That's what I'm trying to do here, but not quite going to work then. Slight bump draft there with Sonic. Sonic goes towards the outside there, and we're going to go on the inside here. Side by side action again. Fast forward a little bit here as we head towards turn number 1 then. We're on the inside. Can we get it done? Out around the outside is really hard to do here. But to be fair, Sonic has actually nailed this. Look at that. Sonic is still there then as we go into this left. I'm looking to try and get the move done. Give some room on the inside. Sonic does what I did previously. And we are up into P3. Muscapi 2 seconds up the road. Not sure that's going to be catchable at all here. And it isn't actually. We get towards the end of the race. We do catch a second though, which is always nice. But we do finish on the podium again. So not too shabby. 2 podiums in this one. But I will explain how to do this lap as quick as possible and hopefully help you out. Good racing there from everybody. Really, really fantastic race this week, Daily Race C. Really, really, really did enjoy that one. Heading towards turn 1 then, you can either use the start of the curb or the 100 board. I'm trying to brake just after the start of the curb and just before the 100 board if you really want to know here, okay? And you're going to see exactly where on chase cam. So it's just after this moment, literally a couple of frames, if that. You're going to see me go hard on the brakes now. There we go. And as you come into here, okay, I actually go for a tighter line. And what I'm looking for is the orange barrier there. So it's red, white, orange. Wait, it's orange. As that goes towards the center of my screen, that's when I want to start accelerating, okay? And you can see that. That's my reference for the exit, and that's what I'm trying to do here. You can see I've already gone on the throttle before it hits the center of my screen, so you can see you can start to edge your bets there. And I'm not fully 100% until I'm really settled in this car. It does like a bit of wheel spin on the exit. As I go into here, then you've got the sign which says right turn, which it is coming up, or the start of the soundproofing fence on the left-hand side. It's just after the sign that says turn right here, chuck it in. You do want to cut a lot of the inside, in my opinion, on this corner. More than you realise, because you want a good run for this whole section, okay? And that's what I try and do there. Now, before the concrete starts on the left-hand side, this is where I start braking. You can see I start braking now. And the reason for that is I actually want to cut quite a lot of this concrete. It will make the car be a bit fidgety over the sausages, but you want the best line possible through this left-hander for the right, okay? And that's what I try and do here. Then I'm going to dab the brakes as I go into the right. Accelerate through the corner then, and then we're going to go hard on the brakes on the exits of the tunnel. Basically where the concrete stops and the end of the curb stops, okay? Literally going to go hard on the brakes right now, and you want to trail brake throughout this corner. You really want to be doing something on this corner rather than just letting the car roll. Basically, it's just going to settle the car a little bit. You can see where I'm about to brake now. And look at that trail braking, and stop, and then There's like a small pause and then on the throttle, and what I'm looking for is that red sign there. The second I start to see a glimpse of red, I'm really on the throttle. I want to accelerate out of this corner as quick as I can, but I have to avoid some understeer, because if you cut it too much, you're going to get a penalty. If you go all four wheels on the green stuff on the exits, you will get a penalty, so that's what I'm trying to avoid there. I just don't get a penalty there. Now as we go to this crest of the hill, okay, as the curb comes into the track the most, protrudes into the track, okay, that is my brake marker for this left-hander, and I turn as I dab the brakes here, okay. I really chuck the car in. You can really do this, and you'll gain an advantage because you'll be so much on the inside, okay. It's very easy to not do that. So as I go through here, I clip the curb, and then I'm accelerating out of that corner. A lot of time to be gained by accelerating out of that corner. And what I'm then looking for is the dark tarmac going to the light tarmac, or the Armco ending as it goes into the bridge. Either of these markers are brilliant markers, okay. That is your brake marker for the straight, the back straight. Now this is a critical corner to get right. You get this right, you're gaining time for days here. Accelerate through the corner, be careful on exit of oversteer, but use all the red and white curbing where you can. As we head towards the hairpin, what we're looking for is the camera structure there on the right hand side. You can try and use the start of the fence where the 100 board is, but it's a bit too late in my opinion. You brake where the blue and white camera structure is on the right hand side. Really nice mark here, and that's what I'm going to use. Now, I'm going to actually try and open this corner up a little bit by using a little bit of the green stuff on the right hand side. As I go through this corner, be careful on exit, straighten up as quick as you can, then accelerate towards the line here. And that is going to be a 1:18.6 there. Plenty of time still in this lap, another few attempts there for sure. Let's go into the bloopers then. Let's have a look at exactly what happened here. So the Italian's looking down the inside of the German and in towards this one. Oh, the slightest of taps out. Really, really unlucky with that one. They were trying to be clean there, so I can sort of see what happened there. Put it into the left then. The BMW just understeers off there. That's a big old understeer moment. Tries to come back on, spin the wheels, round you go, and hits the barrier. Right, let's have a look at the Russian driver then. This was Pike. I think it's Piker. Apologies if I got that wrong. Put it into this right-hander then. They're going to try and do this cutback thing. They keep trying this one, but they're going to tap my rear end there. You really need to give me the position back there, because that's just your pit maneuver there. As we go into this right-hander, Marisonic did nothing wrong there, I would say, because that was just turning in when the car was still there. So, yeah. That's nothing major there at all, really. As we go to the German drive then, this is the German and Shelty then. Coming into this right-hander, they do back out of it. I can see that Shelty's trying to find space. Slight tap. Oh, okay, yeah. Trying to go for the cutback. Very hard to do on the chicane. Very hard to do indeed. I would just backed out of that and look to fight another day. Now, this was the move here on Shelty. Just sends it down here and just pushes Shelty off. I have no idea why you've done that. That's just moronic driving to the fullest degree. Really, really, really was. So this is where I got hit up the backside there. Okay, yeah, so Adler had nowhere to go there. Hit the brakes. There's already a Mercedes on the right and just had to try and stop the car. So, you know, fair play there. You did try your best there, so no issues there at all. Going through this right-hander then. The Lexus, the La then, into the barrier there. Just a bit of too much wheel spin there on exits. And then here's the one where I say I'm to blame here. So Sonic goes deep, Fat Bam 1 on the inside. Everyone's trying to give each other room. I just turned in a bit too much there. That actually forced a bit of a pit maneuver on Fat Bam 1. So that then nearly binned Sonic. Then I'm going to bump draft, and then that's the end of that one. But that is everything for this week, folks. I do hope you've enjoyed this video, as always. If you did, give it a like, subscribe to the channel, and check out those two videos there for you. A big, big thank you for the support at the moment. It's huge. It's massive. And honestly, I appreciate it so much. And I hope to see you in another video or live stream again very soon.